It comes in all types of different colors. The Nixon Descender. This is, of course, in blue. Gorgeous watch. Utilizing a Swiss quartz movement. I think it's a Ronda movement. I could be wrong on that, though. We're going to start with examining the looks of the dial. As I say in my analog watch reviews these days, I really like highly legible hands. And we have that here with the Nixon Descender. Nice big presentation on the minutes hand. The hours hand could be a little bit better. Does have a white pip on it. I wish it was orange or pure white, but it's okay. Then we have the orange seconds hand with a circle on it. Iridescent blue, sunburst dial. Excellent. I've seen it in green, gray, I think red, and a bunch of other colors, the Nixon Descender. They're all good looking. And I think they're still making this watch. It's kind of a heavy duty, no kidding dive watch. That's what it's designed for, the Nixon Descender. Let's weigh it on camera because I don't even know where the notes page is for this sucker. Long gone. We'll do it in ounces. It's not a super light watch. I think it's like 4.7 or something, which I used to think was heavy. It's not. Oh, 4.2. That's nothing. I say nothing because, dudes, I'm wearing like 7-ounce watches these days with metal bracelets. Yeah, it happens. I don't do it all the time, but I'm doing it, and I kind of enjoy it. I know. For everything else, like knives, I'm always complaining about weight. With watches, I give it a pass. I do. By the way, this is an F6F Hellcat in 1:144 scale, sitting in the background, out of the boys' collection. I bought this for them, I think, about 2001. Just a few bucks. Not super highly detailed, but it's a cool model. The F6F Hellcat, if you don't know, was one of the best U.S. Navy fighters. Had, I think, a Pratt & Whitney R2800 Twin Wasp motor in it. I could be wrong on that, but I know it put out about 1,800 to 2,000 horsepower. It looks very similar to the F4F Wildcat, but they are two different animals. This plane right here was amazing. It was fast, maneuverable, it was extremely tough, as were most of the Grumman aircraft they designed. Going up against a Japanese aircraft in the hands of a good pilot, this one would destroy him. It was amazing. That with the F4U Corsair in the Pacific Theater, these fighters basically turned the tide of the war. That, along with the poor logistics and organizational problems the Japanese Air Force had, it was bad. Anyways, we'll put that in the background. 1:144 F6F Hellcat. This is a Wegener C4. And then, of course, we've got the big, beautiful, and still awesome Casio Golfmaster. This one in white. Look at that thing. Speaking of legibility, on the analog presentation, the Golfmaster reigns supreme, along with the positive LCD display. How many of y'all have a Golfmaster? And if so, do you like it? Say it in comment. Just a total Hall of Fame watch, as is the Descender. But it doesn't have all the functionality of this one. It's more a simple dive watch. However, I've said it before, I'll say it again, there are very few people that actually dive with their analog dive watches. They don't. It's just mostly a second cool thing. We know this. Desk diver is a term, right? Now, I dove this one in California just for testing, just for fun, just for, I don't know, different footage I can roll into the review. And no big surprise, it performed great down to 40 feet. This one, however, is waterproof down to, I believe, 300 meters is what it says. It's a screw down crown. Like I said at the outset, a serious dive watch. That's what it's intended to be. Screw back case, you can see it there. Brushed 316L stainless steel case. My overall feel for this watch is that it is well put together. It's solid. The Nixon is. It just... Picking it up, it feels like a much more expensive watch. And now we come to the measuring part. The lugs are 22 millimeters. Lug to lug is, haven't done this very often, I probably ought to do it more, 52 millimeters if you care. My wrist is kind of on the narrow side, but I can wear this no problem. I'll try to model it for you if I don't forget. thickness of the Descender, 12.5 millimeters across. The perfect measurement of 44 millimeters on the Nixon Descender. Just ideal. I don't want it any smaller than that. And I can actually take some pretty thick watches these days. I don't know if I've told you that. Seriously, I don't mind a watch that sticks up that high. Well, this is a good example. Look at this. So the Golf Master, that's a big watch. I rest my case. So I wear the Golf Master. I don't complain about it. I just like it. It makes me happy. Yep. Notice the crown on the Nixon Descender is at the 9 o'clock position, something different. Logo in the crown. Screw down like I mentioned. The date window is also on the left side of the case at the 9 o'clock position. And it is pretty much, as we see in a lot of dive watches, stupidly I would say, illegible. You can't hardly read it. It's against a black face. The numerals are very tiny. Why even do it? A good one would be the Wegener Squadron GMT watch right here. So at least we can read that one. And it didn't replace any of the Arabic numerals. It's in addition. That's just a minor quibble. It doesn't like ruin the watch for me. I do like the Arabic markings. 12, 2, 4, 6, 8. Perfect. Minutes markings as well. So those are on the inner chapter ring, as you can see. I'm trying to minimize my reflection for you. Let me hold it right there. There you go. You can take a look at it there. We talked about the hands already. The bezel is 120 clicks, sandproof in my testing. Very positive. I mean, this is like a serious dive bezel that you won't have to worry about it moving around. I just reviewed the Nautica, and this was medium. So this moves more easily. For its purpose, it's fine. You can hear a little squeaking in it too. This is a superior bezel, the Nixon Descender. This is like serious. This is like something you'd see on a Seiko tuna. Yeah, it's a cool bezel. Yeah, it's standard markings here. I think we have an illuminated pip right there. We're going to look at the Illumination right now. My light, by the way, I still use all the time. Still the S20 baton. I think it has been replaced with something else. Nothing ever lasts. So sad. The best illumination I see is from Seiko and Citizen overall. Just keeping it real. Their illumination is insane. But that being said, check this one out. Nixon. That's about on par, really, with Seiko and Citizen. And speaking from experience, like last year when we were diving it, I could notice that it was still illuminated underwater. And when I was like semi-cave diving, not really into a cave, it's just kind of an underhang I went under where there was no light. It looked about like it does now underwater. Really cool. And there is, as you can see, markings, illuminated markings on the bezel, 0 to 15. So that's pretty rare, actually, and that is more in keeping with a serious dive purpose, because those first 15 minutes are important. So I'm going to give the Illumination 5 stars, which is to say on par with those other brands, which I love, Citizen and Seiko. Now let's take a look at the side of the Nixon Descender. I want to show you a couple things. First, the drilled through lugs with screw heads in them. Very cool. Easy to change out. Stronger. So it's not just a normal spring bar. It is a stainless steel bar arrangement. Again, kind of a more serious dive watch. There's the knurling on the bezel. Somewhat occluded by the side of the case. Like right here, you can see this. This would be important underwater if you did want to use the timing function. Now, I'm wearing tactical gloves now. They're pigs. Neoprene gloves are a lot worse. And so underwater, I had a real hard time grabbing this reliably and spinning it around. It is doable, but you just kind of got to grab it kind of firmly, and definitely not on the side because, again, there's a case occlusion there if you care. Some other bezel rings, like just because it's here, the Nautica, are more like Luminox, and so they have extended knurling pads kind of sticking out past the case. You see that? Those are easier to grasp, especially with a glove. Just a minor point. Other than that, a really good looking watch. Brushed stainless steel, again available in different colors. And that brings us to competitive offerings. what do I have on the table? Ooh, not too prepared. I guess I'll throw this one up. It is much more affordable. It is the Casio Mdv 106. I think it's like 50 bucks. And I put a NATO strap on it because the plastic rubbery strap that comes with this Casio is pretty much garbage. Yeah, this is a very affordable, like I said, SKX 007 homage watch with a screw down crown. Remarkably, typical Casio value quality. It's a great little dive watch. It really is, especially for the price. It's not 300 meter rated. I think this is a 100 meter watch. This is 300. It's not the same level of quality as this one. I found that the Casio cases, I don't know if this one will show it, and I have dove this one as well, they will get salt pitting in them relatively easily. They'll show scratches more easily because of probably a poor quality of stainless steel. But your watch just looks cooler the more you scratch it up. It does. I think I have a crystal protector on this one, yeah. Don't scratch up the crystal, but the sides, scratch it up. Who cares? I showed you the Wegener C-Force, the Nautica, and I think that's all the dive watches I have. That's cool. I'll make this video shorter. I can go on all day with competitive offerings. But the Nixon Descender is a favored, good-looking, hard-use dive watch for a remarkable price, really. For what you'll pay for this watch, it's going to be a lot less than some Seikos, a lot less than some Citizen watches, and yet it's different. I like the Nixon branding on the face, by the way. The whole coloration is, in the watch itself, is Hall of Fame. It's going in the playlist. See you guys later.